gentle winds beckon through the... Wait a minute, you can copy something on your phone and paste it on your computer. Dude, that freaking rocks. I mean, I don't know how often that's going to come in handy, but it did just now. Man, that just made my night. It's the little things in life, dude, I swear. I don't know if other people have known about that for a while, but I tell you what, the discoveries you make at 4 a.m. are nothing short of extraordinary, dude. Yeah! Yes, dude, I'm back in on technology. Oh, that's so cool. Simple, but cool. I mean, I was thinking about being a Luddite for a little bit. I thought maybe I'd get a rural job, but I'm back. Feels good to be back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Full Circus. My name is Tristan Sartoris. Happy to be here with you guys today. Man, I gotta tell you what. Not only am I looking good, more importantly, I am feeling good, okay? And even more important than that, if there is such a thing, I'm smelling good, all right? Right before I started the show, spritzed on little bit cologne. For why? No reason. It's just us here together. But there's an amount of class that you exude when you smell nice, all right? And I think it needs to be more of a priority out here in life. I don't know enough people are focusing on this smell game, okay? And I would argue it's more important than looking good to smell good, okay? I was thinking about this just mere moments ago when I was peeing in the shower. And I know people are going to hear that and go, all right. And not like, why would you say that? They go, you're still peeing in the shower? Aren't you a little bit too old to be doing that? Nay, dude. There is no age in which you stop or have to stop or even think about stop peeing in the shower. That's what I do. That's where I like to do it, okay? I think it saves water. Sometimes I'll wait to shower just so I can pee. Okay? That's how I like to go to the bathroom. If there's a body of water nearby, if it's a shower, if it's a pool, a bathtub, I'm going in it, okay? And sure, there's been an embarrassing times where I was in a hot tub with some of my boys and I didn't realize that the filter wasn't working and then I kept, peeing in it. And that was awkward. But we all got over it, all right? And I think they understood on a fundamental level that that's just what you do. And I have to imagine that I wasn't the only one doing it. But if there's water nearby, I'm going to be peeing in it, okay? I don't care if it's a puddle. I don't care if I drop some water onto my crotch and people go, oh, did he pee his pants? And I go, but I'm powder. Okay? That's just how I operate. And I have to imagine other people are the same. So let's just skip all the, what a scandalous thing to say, and just cut to the chase with the fact that I think people should be focusing on their hygiene more. I know, a bit of a weird transition, but you know what? Sometimes you just put your foot right in your mouth and go, this little piggy is not making enough sense yet. So let me try and continue to dig myself out of every hole that I could just remedy by not continuing. I could easily restart. We're like 8 seconds into the show. It takes 2 clicks, but this is raw. This is real. So anyways, what I was saying is, sure, it's nice to look good. It's nice to have a good hair day, and I do. But I would argue, dude, it's even more important to have a good smell day, okay? Have you ever just woken up just, I'm smelling nice. I'm feeling nice. There's something different about the essence of your scent, okay? And I would argue it's more important, okay? Because appearance is subjective anyways. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Everybody is beautiful to someone, but scent, that's in the nostrils of the world, okay? We all get that. No one goes, oh, he's perfect, but, oh, it's fine. I actually like his scent, all right? A smell is what a smell is. And there's nothing you can do about that except remedy it. And another pro of, smells is, with your look, man, you can try to have a nice hair day. You can try to have a nice appearance day. And sometimes it just doesn't work out. Maybe you had too much to eat and your clothes aren't fitting right. Maybe the hair is just falling out of place, or you got a pimple that's just sticking around, okay? And everyone focuses on their appearance too much, all right? You can try and you can fail. You can't fail with smell. No one's going to be in the shower and go, I don't know if this soap's really working. It's just gonna happen, okay? And I think more people should be focusing on their smells. And I thought, well, I just want to look good in the photos. What good does that do you if you're fogging up the lens, okay? So I'm trying to get everybody to focus on a little bit of their hygiene more, okay? Pee in the shower, but make sure you wash it off. It's something that it can be worked on, and there's a beauty in it, okay? I think because smells are science, all right? You can't ruin it. You can see someone who's very beautiful, and then you realize they're kind of a turd, and you go, you know what, that's not really working for me anymore. But I've met some people that I thought smelled nice, and then I found out they're kind of evil and not nice, and I go, oh, I don't like you. But dadgum, dude, does the deodorant still smell good? All right, you can ruin attraction, you cannot ruin a perfume. And that's all I need to say about that, okay? So guys, focus on your smell a little bit more. I'm not just saying this personally because I've been running into some people go, you know, you gotta do some windshield wipers with the hand, just not too great. And I would also say, you know, you can accidentally also not be looking great in the world because you need a mirror to check in on yourself. You need to see yourself again and go, oh, am I still looking right? Let me fix this, let me adjust this. If you smell good, you just know it. You're getting hit with constant whiffs, hints, and notes of, ooh, dude, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. And basically all that to say is I smell like beef jerky today, but I don't know if I actually do. It's just that I got barked at by a group of dogs earlier, or they were women, but I have to imagine they were dressed up as women, and they had to have been dogs because it was quite intimidating. I won't lie to you. It was a little bit scary to just see a group of people across the street going, and I don't know what they meant by it, but it was intimidating for sure. And I think the worst part of it is that I didn't really know they were barking at me until halfway through it. You know, you're on a walk, you listen to music, and you're like, oh, dang, is someone chasing a cat? And you go, oh, there's people looking at me. And then you mute, and they're just barking. And you're like, whoa, did I somehow switch the dialect in my area? Did I somehow hack into the mainframe? Is this a simulation? I think I just accidentally, broke it. And then I wasn't, returning fire. Instead, when someone barks at you, you don't imagine, oh, I deserve this. If multiple people start barking at you, you have to assume, again, if they're dogs, maybe there's a squirrel behind you. Maybe there's another dog. I have no idea. So I'm looking around and they go, well, maybe meows will work better. And so then they start meowing at me. That can't, maybe I'm completely thrown off. So I just begin to keep on walking. They go, where you going, cutie? I'll take you home. And I just had to skedaddle, dude. It was a bit too much for me at the time. I couldn't be a part of it. It's a little scary. I also had to go to the bathroom pretty bad at that moment, but little dicey. I also, again, might have been smelling like beef jerky. I don't know what the answers were to that. And here's the thing. The area that I live in, the people are pretty interesting regardless. So they could have been anywhere from, 25 to 9,000. I didn't get a good look at their hair color. So I was just thrilled to get out of that. But maybe they're weird. Maybe it's me. I was on the phone right after that, talking into it. And smelling like beef jerky. So I'm talking about them, but I imagine maybe they have a podcast and they're talking about me too. Okay. There's there's this guy that just smelled like Jack Links. It was amazing. Od'or to Jerky. Woof, 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 woof. Didn't think I had that in me, did you? So anyways, guys, what's more important than that, dude? It has been an interesting week. I cannot lie to you in that it feels like it just happened, in a true blink of an eye fashion. I did not get a lot of sleep this week at all, it feels like I just recorded this podcast. When you have somebody over and then they leave and you say your goodbyes and you glad hand them, so great to see you, peace, I'll see you some other time. And then you close the door and you think, I'm not going to see them until the next time I see them, which is probably going to be any time before or after 5 seconds, but then they knock on the door and they forgot something. Go, whoa, where'd you come back? I didn't expect to see you so soon again. That's how I feel right now. I feel like I just saw you guys and we're already back to doing it, which I'm not complaining about, but it also just feels a little unfamiliar, Like, what am I even going to talk about? I feel like I was just here, but it's been an interesting week. Again, with very little sleep. It started last weekend where I went to an art fair with some friends, and it was a lot of jewelry and stuff that I'm not necessarily too interested in, but I'm also just I love art. I don't even know if I have the capacity to understand it in most ways. I don't know if I'll see a great canyon or a sunrise or something very abstract and be like, what are they trying to say here? I don't know if I'm that intellectual or deep into it to get all of it, but I do love passion. So whether it's just genuine physical art or poetry or a movie or music or anything where people are creating, especially the further we go into AI and all the shortcuts, I just continue to be more and more inspired and motivated by art, by creativity, dude. It's amazing. It's beautiful. And there were some pretty cool pieces. I was hoping to find something because when I get stuff, I put it back here, really. Everything that I am interested in is pretty much on these two shelves. And my walls, again, are barren, dude. There's nothing on them. So I wanted something to just sort of gander at. I want to look at it and just go, oh, I sparked an idea. And I don't know what I was really expecting, but there were amazing pieces, so many cool things. Unfortunately, a bit out of my price range, around $7 to $19 million. And I was like, I don't know if I could swing that at the moment. But I just didn't have it. I didn't have it in me. All right. And maybe I was just expecting, I don't know what I was expecting, really. I've never been in an art fair before. So it was cool, but it was just, maybe I'm too cheap. And I get denoted as a cheap guy pretty often, I was just made fun of a couple days ago for my phone plan. They go, oh, freaking, what is that? I've never heard of that. You're freaking idiot. He's poor and stupid. And that happens a lot in my life. I just get made fun of the things that I have, the things that I buy, the things that I like, the things that I want. And that's just the way that it is. But I did find a $25 little Ninja Turtle painting that I'm not going to put up here just yet. Okay, it might end up here because it's pretty cool, but I'm hoping it can be just something that's not for the entertainment value. It's for inspiration. If I can find inspiration out of $25, hey, dude, that's not cheap. That's resourceful. I don't need to pay the $7,000. I don't need to have the best, the latest, the greatest. I just need to go, ooh, bang, there it is, and I can find it, I can see it, and I can taste it, I can feel it, and it's warm. Oh crap, he peed his pants again. So. I found a little painting, so I was super thrilled with that. And we were having a sleepover going from the art fair into Ren Fair. All right. We had this big idea to go to the Renaissance Fair, and I had never been to that before. And it was the day after the art exhibit. So we were going to stay up and watch some pirate movies and then hopefully get some sleep and go to this sweet little fantasy land that I am the only person who has never experienced. So I was really out of my element and just getting so many new fun experiences. The only problem is that they were so new and so fun that I didn't sleep at all. Okay, I thought maybe I'd doze off at some point. That was a lot of walking. That was a lot of art. That was a lot of inspiration, motivation. It was cool. And maybe my brain would just want to tap out for a minute and digest it. It didn't happen. So I just stayed up and up and up, and the hours went by, and the sun went down, and it came back. And he's like, "You're still here?" But I had so much fun the entire night, and it was great. So then we go to the Ren Fair, and it was Pirate Day, dude. And look, I don't know much about the Ren Fair, but boy, do I know how to be a pirate. You're a pirate! Okay, we went to the thrift store and we were trying to find some pieces, and everyone's going to assemble a costume. I gave up pretty quickly because I don't really like the thrift store, and I also don't know how to do it. I think there's an art to costume making that I respect because I love art, but again, don't understand it. And I was like, this is too much, and I just started to go around and playing with, the various toys and trinkets that they have there. But I just ordered it off Amazon. While also, before it even gotten here, I'm already writing the little return note. Oh yeah, looks like someone had already worn this to the Ren Fair, so I could send it back. That's not even cheap, dude. That's hustle culture. Now I'm a pirate for real. You're a pirate! So I got the pirate costume. It was freaking sweet and awesome. We're watching pirate movies, and then we go to the Ren Fair, and it's really just, there's not even anything funny to say about it, but it was so fun. If you haven't been, I highly recommend it. It was sold to me very high. You're gonna walk into a fantasy land. It's otherworldly, and it really is, dude. It surpasses every little bar of expectation that you could possibly have, and more so. And it's one of the cool things where there's a lot of places where people get dragged along to, maybe a sports game, or, the fish aisle of a grocery store, or wherever it is, a bathtub where their friends just keep peeing in it. That guy. There's places where you go just because people take you there. But there's something about the Ren Fair. I don't know how often I've been in a place where everyone who was there wanted to be there. Everyone was dressed up. Everyone was involved, and nobody was on their phone except for me at one point because I had to watch the Browns game. I had to see Shedeur Sanders. I had to see, I'm involved, okay? But other than that, like, everyone was just there to be there, and there's just, I don't know, there's something sweet just about being present there. But it was cool. It was sweet. We also got some eyeliner on to be a pirate. You're a pirate! Which I thought was going to be dope and cool. I was a little scared because I don't like people touching my eyes at all, but I think it added to the pirate costume. I also didn't know that it was waterproof, but it did come in handy because we got rained out shortly after that. And I will say there were a lot of other Amazon pirate costumes, a lot of twins. You go, oh, you also didn't know what you were doing, but hey, and there's something cool about that. And I technically wore mine the best, but that's neither here nor there because it's not really mine anymore. I returned it. So, suckers. I'm still a pirate. You're a pirate! But yeah, the eyeliner added and all, and it was just it was a good day. It was a good time, dude, with just great people and having fun, having laughs. The only real drawback I will say is that because I hadn't slept from right after doing the podcast to go into the art fair to go into the Renaissance fair, it was a 3-hour drive to and fro. And on the ride back especially, just I hadn't slept. I kept trying to doze off and I couldn't really get there. And I don't know. I don't know because I had my eyes closed for a lot of it, or I was trying to. I don't know if there were several wrong turns taken or stops that were being had. Maybe I did fall asleep, but this was the longest drive that I have ever experienced in my life, okay? I had just driven 16 hours to Tybee Island just months prior, okay? And even the day after, I drove 3 hours down to Columbus and 3 hours back to go get some golfing in, which, by the way, didn't get any sleep for that either. But this was just a 3-hour drive, and I could not believe how long it was, dude. I have to believe. I need to go and ask them about it, the people who actually did sleep, because I wonder if my perception of time was just completely off. Because about 19 days into the drive, and I realized we were only 40 minutes into it, I was so stir crazy and angry and baffled and confused. I was like, there's no way I'm still in this car. Get me out of here! But it was amazing. It was a fun time. It was crazy. But yeah, so then we rolled right after that. Kept the eyeliner on because I couldn't wash it off. I don't have anything to wash off. Waterproof eyeliner. Hopefully it's off right now. We'll see. And that was good. Just got to hang out with the boys, get some golfing in, hit a ton into the woods. People go, oh, it's a nice open course. You can't really lose too many. Like, we'll see about that. It's just a good time. I did realize, I don't know if I can really even blame the sleep, but I had a moment where I was like, I'm the insane guy. I am the weirdo. I'm the guy who should be barking at people. I went into the bathroom. We were at Buffalo Wild Wings, and I went into the bathroom, and I came in singing. I was like, and I went, I see some guy. He's in the stall. All right. Now, it shouldn't matter, but I was like, oh, I just came in singing. And I don't know if that's the character I want to have for this scene, okay? Which is just ludicrous as a concept. Saluda. But I walked back out and walked back in because I had to wash my hands, okay? And I go, well, you know, it's a pretty good day. Just had some, like, just talking to myself, like, oh, I had some good days about golfing. I'm speaking in my regular voice because I just had to wash my hands real quick. And then I realized I have to go to the bathroom, but I just washed my hands. No one washes their hands and then goes to the bathroom. So I'm already on character 2. So I decide, okay, I need a third character. So I open the door. And then I close it again to act as if a third guy had walked in, and I changed my voice like, oh, it's a good day out on the green. Can get a fancy draft. I'm playing a character for nobody except this guy who's probably fighting for his life, and he's on his 19th courtesy flush. So I don't know who this was for other than me, and it was making me feel happy. And I walked out. I was like, I think I might actually be psychotic. What am I doing? And I hope somehow he could also see my shoes from underneath the stall. He's like, what is going? Every time I come back in, he's like, oh, yeah, so it's pretty good out there. And it made me laugh, and it just added so much more joy to my life. And by it, I mean me and my craziness. But you know what you gonna do? So that was fun, and drove all the way. The 3 hours felt like a breeze at this point. Maybe it's because I was driving, but maybe because I wasn't dressed up as a pirate. I have no idea. Or also because my brother was there, and I have no idea. All right, I don't have any. You think I understand the time and space continuum? I don't, but I will say that it was not nearly as many days. So after that, I got up the next morning because I really wanted to go back to a gymnastics class. Which, by the way, dude, I took a gymnastics class, and I'm trying to get back into my acrobatic mode. All right, my grandfather was a gymnast. My father, my mother, gymnast to the bone, and all I ever wanted to be growing up was a gymnast, dude. But I never did. I was just too athletic at too many different sports and didn't get to be a part of that. So I learned handsprings and flips and stuff like that, albeit at a bit of a lower weight. It's usually around 170 that I can kind of spring around. And going back to gymnastics, I will say at 210, a lot of weight on the wrists, you know, like the wrist. They say a lot of muscle memory is involved with, you know, strength and athletics. But when your wrist, you know, if they remember a person 40 pounds heavier, they're like, oh, welcome back. You know, they weren't prepared to be landed on that many times. So, yeah, a bit of a distant muscle memory. They were a bit uncomfortable, but it was really cool, and everyone was super nice and just very complimentary. They're like, you took gymnastics. You're a gymnast. Like, I'm not. I really, you know, I learned some stuff. It's whatever, though. But it was nothing but a good time. And there was a lady there who said, do you work out? And that's fine, but I would have preferred if they just said you work out. You know, when you ask a guy whether or not he's like, do you lift weights? I don't want it to be a question. Unfortunately, it just means I'm not working hard enough. But you know what? You would like someone to say, you work out, you lift weights. You know, you're a gymnast. I don't want a question mark at the end. Don't go, do you work out? Have you ever walked a mile? Have you ever stopped eating pizza? You know, I don't want that. I want to go, oh, you eat vegetables sometimes. You probably don't wet your pants. And that's what I would like to hear in my life, and I haven't gotten it yet, but it's cool. It's cool. So the point is that I was going back to this gymnastics class, and on the way there, flat tire. Car sputters out, farts itself to death, and uncomfortable situation, dude. I just wanted to go and do some springing, man. I just wanted to go get complimented by all the coaches and then go, you're not by chance like still in college? Are you old enough to compete? So I go, no, I'm 27. It's like, it's just, you get your natural with it. And how complimentary is that, dude? All right. Not only for people to see you as young, but just see you as just a naturally gifted talent. It's beautiful, beautiful. I've been getting the young comments a bit too much, unfortunately. I'm not at the point where, and I don't know if guys ever get there either, but you know, when someone goes, oh, you know, you could be your brother or whatever they say, and you go, oh, stop. I don't know if I'm ever going to feel that elated when somebody says you look younger, but I've gotten that recently, about 3 different times, and I don't know if it's just because of the haircut or I don't know, but I'm a little bit worried that maybe I'm like some sort of Benjamin Buttoning myself. So I gotta maybe lock in on that, maybe get some more scars, or only wear my gray hairs out, just put those up and be like, look at that, he's ancient. So I gotta figure that out. But anyways, car farts itself to sleep, and I didn't get to go to the gymnastics. I'm still butt tired, and I'm jacking the car up on the side of the road, and the road itself crumbles beneath it. The jack falls, gets scoliosis, just bends and dies. Car, I get the wheel just enough off that it flips off, and I drop the rotor right into the ground. Just absolute unfortunate circumstances. While you're already tired, I still got this pirate eyeliner on probably, and I'm just upset, and all I wanted to do was do some handstands. So now I'm really bummed. I'm about to have some people come out and help me, and I will say shout out to a fella named Ben, all right? I'm talking guardian angel. This guy showed up with two different pieces of clothing that had wording on it, both a hat and a shirt that said I believe in God. And this guy, he's like, hey, you need a jack? And he just had we didn't dig it out and pull it out from anywhere. He just had a jack on ready, on deck, on call, in the back, underneath the car. We pop it right up. Now, a little bit credit to me is because there was no way to get under it, and I was digging through all the asphalt and gravel and stuff, and got under there. So me and Ben did it. Me and God figured it out. But really nice guy. I tried to pay him just to, just beautiful sort of. He found just love and happiness and serendipitous joy, okay, in the mess, all right? And I'm happy that it happened. I was not happy that, as tired as I was later that night and I was getting my work done, that I also remembered, I have to get up in the morning and go replace that tire too. So I had to head my way back to the junkyard and try and find a tire that's going to fit this certain size and do this whole rigmarole again. And I find a single tire, dude, just a single one, and it is stuck on there. It is giving me trouble, man. And luckily, again, another older fella helps me get it off. I mean, it was pretty rusted. This is me trying to cover for myself, so I don't sound as pathetic. I mean, it was rusty, guys. It's the kind of rust that you would need a tetanus shot just to hear the rest of this story. But he helps me get it off. He's like, you don't have any cash on you, do you? I was like, I don't. I'll happily Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, whatever you need. He's like, don't even worry about it. I didn't even get his name because he seemed a little hurt that I didn't have cash. But you know what? Just helped out by the community. When I fall, everyone falls, and then we raise back up together. So hopefully I can pay it forward in some way. But that was kind of how the day was. There were some L's. There was lots of L's. There was not a lot of sleep, and it's just been a good time. Been just happy to be alive, even in the wreckage that is life. But anyways, going after that, rolling into Wednesday at this point, still not getting a lot of sleep. I got to get up early to go and film a thing with my uncle for a high school. It's all very complicated, and I'm not just trying to cop out in that I don't understand it necessarily, but it's complicated. And I was dressed up as a mascot, and I was tired, for one, and I was just taking a beating, dude. Okay, and it's definitely my fault in that they were checking in. Are you okay? Is everything fine? Do you need to take a break? And I get carried away having fun. All right, in the same way that I end up with not getting sleep is that I felt my body getting tired and exhausted. For one instance, I was running sprints, 100-yard dashes, which is difficult even if you're not wearing pads and a silicone mask that you can't breathe out of. But the thing did not fit properly. I couldn't get it in all the way. So I couldn't see, I couldn't breathe, and there was no actual buttons or clasps. So the nose of the costume was basically just hooked into my nostrils. And that was the only way that it was staying on. So I'm running 100 yards as fast as I can. I'm in a deprivation tank. I can't hear anybody, and they're driving a John Deere behind me, so I can't hear if they're get out of the way, we're gonna keep flooring, move. I don't know what the directions are. It's dark, I'm tired, and all I can feel is my feet flop, 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 flop. And I can't breathe. You're basically just holding your breath for 100 yards, and then we'd all right, let's run it back. And then this is where they're like, you need a break, take a break, get some water. Like, no, I'm fine, dude. I can run a little bit. And I just completely overestimated my ability to die as slow as I thought I could. And it kicked in much quicker. So after about 4, I think, I was like, whoa, I just took it all. I was like, I got to eat a sandwich. I got to take it down. And it was a good time. And thank you for the food, Uncle Tom. That was wonderful. I did have to poop immediately after that. And that was an executive decision where I had to go, you know what, you either got to clench it or wonder, you know, how long am I going to be in there? And I didn't know, you know, when you got a mysterious poop, you don't gamble on that. So I held it. And when you guys see the commercial, just know.
I can't wait to shit my pants, Dad.
Every single shot of that, I am clenching like you wouldn't believe. And it made it even worse is that we had these action shots, which were so cool when I got to dive off onto these pads and have fun. But I was also, again, just getting into the moment where you want the mascot to look like he's getting beat up. So I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna really sell it. So there were I don't even know when they're gonna cut, dude, but I was really throwing myself into the ground, dude. And I'm feeling that a little bit today, dude. Like just landing on my hip and my back. And when I woke up this morning, it felt like I had landed on my hip and my back, dude, just everywhere. I also completely destroyed my new shoes. I didn't want to tell my uncle that they were brand new. He's like, are those new? I was like, they're fairly new. I gotten them. That was actually the first time I'd worn them was that day. And they were white, and I just completely stained them with grass. Though I'll get it out. But just silliness on my part. I just want to be a team player, dude. All right, sue me, okay? I want to be there for the crew. But just great, wonderful people, wonderful time, wonderful shoot, okay? And how often do you get to wear a mascot costume? I would have liked to use some more of my gymnastics that I didn't even get to, but you know, I'm a little bit of an acrobat, okay? But I will say this, it is much harder to do anything, let alone flip or do handsprings in a costume. So we were going to do some stuff, and I did like a round off, and right when I did that at the beginning, I was like, I can't even get my shoulders like all the way up to even do it, and that was really the end of it. And I would have loved to do some more. You know, so I want to again, team player. I want to add to the thing. I was not judging a guy, but there was a guy before me who plays the character, and he has the mask off. We were throwing the football together, kind of. I threw the football to him. He caught it, and then he threw it way out, like to the point where I was like, maybe I made this guy mad somehow. Like he threw it so far away. I thought I had done something wrong. It was that bad of a pass. And I was like, oh, did I park behind him? I scratch his car? Does he think I'm somebody else? Because 3 or 4 times in a row, it was like he threw it 90 degrees. And then he's like, I can't, get forward motion like through. I was like, oh, okay. Because I was worried. It was that atrocious. But it was just kind of silly to see someone, oh yeah, go long.
Hit me, I'm open. Hi.
You're like, what? I'm not even, huh? That's not even close. You turned around to throw that. But very, very silly and very, very fun. Just a great time all in all. It's been a great week. It feels like it's gone by like that, but a great time nonetheless. What else has happened? Not much in the realm here. I haven't been here as much as I would have liked to, take care of some of my other duties. I did break my remote. I don't know how. It just stopped. It just died. It quit working, and there was nobody to come to the side of the road to just have extra remotes or batteries or whatever. But unfortunately, I noticed it wasn't working when I would turn the volume down. And so I turned it up. I was like, oh, so the up works. And I cranked it nearly full volume. I go, the down doesn't work. And it's just blaring. So I can't have the TV on until I go and order a new remote, because he started, every time you turn it on, it's at max volume. It's just ESPN. Some people are saying start the film. Like, all right, I agree with what you're saying, but you're saying it way too loud for me. So it's just it's a good time. It's a good time. It's a silly time. And, well, that's a good time. So, other than that, man, I gotta tell you, I've been thinking a lot lately about the podcast. And I feel like I haven't been making as much of a priority as I would like to do, or be just changing it, challenging it, innovating it, and I think I'm going to start making some new changes. I don't know to what degree, but I feel like because we've never missed a week, we've never missed an episode, man, and I know that it's so stream of consciousness and what have you. You don't know what you're going to get. I don't know what we're going to get, but there's an aspect of I know it's going to get done. I know that I could walk into it with no prep whatsoever, and it's going to be an A-. Okay, so it's sometimes hard to be like, okay, if I'm going to get an A-, why spend the extra time on focusing and learning the homework and understanding the solutions and the problems to make it that full A or the A+. But I wanna get back to making it more of a priority. I'm still just having a blast with it, but I think it could be even more. Not more fun, but more of a blast, or maybe more enjoyable for the wonderful people who do tune in to watch, because I thank you guys so much. And I don't know what that entails necessarily, but we'll see. You could always bring in guests. There could always be more segments, return some new segments. I might get rid of the desk. I don't know. I've just had a lot of ideas, and I'm just spitballing because my real ideas are just too insane to just give you for free. You gotta wait until they show up, but we'll see. I should probably also change these cameras that we've had for the past couple of years or so. I don't know why they're the way they are. They're not always dying, but they're overheating. And I was like, maybe it's too hot in here. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And then I looked up, I was like, well, it turns out these cameras are prone to overheating. And that just rocks, dude. And I can only imagine as they age, they're going to get even worse. So we gotta continue to think, okay? And not even outside of the box. I just need to be doing some thinking inside the box and come up with what we come with. So, guys, I thank you so much for tuning in. We got this nice little background. It's a nice campfire for the last days of August as we roll into fall, and it's beautiful. I hope you guys have had a beautiful time and a beautiful summer. And everything has just been nothing but wonderful. And even if there are bad times, that you can, one, find the joy in it, but two, there are people like Ben and Old Guy at the junkyard to help you out where it counts, you know? Because if anything, sometimes you get barked at and you smell like beef jerky, but it's still a good story nonetheless. So say goodbye to summer and say hello to fall. How the gentle winds beckon through the leaves. Just heard it 1,000 times, but still doesn't know the words. As colors tend to fall, I'm dreaming tonight. That's a different song. But anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out. I love ya to itty bitty pieces. And even some bigger ones too. You know what? Why not? And I will see you in the next one, hopefully with some more prep. I don't know when we're going to kick this thing into overdrive, but we're cruising. All right. Sticking around in 4th or 5th gear. It's nothing to sneeze at, but I would like to, you know, they say kick it up a gear, but really if you dig it down a gear is really where you can ramrod it and get some heavier. It doesn't matter. It's all very complicated, and I understand it, but I don't have time to get into it. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you. I love you. Peace.